Come on guys, where's the keto? Hey happy friends, this is Tina. Thanks for coming by. Today we're going to jump into my keto snack box. This is my first of the subscription. It is non-sponsored, it is not free, it is not an affiliate link. It is something that I pay for myself. It's $38 a month. It's my first time getting this box. I am about 35 days into the keto diet right now. I've lost over 10 pounds. I've lost a number of inches, 2 pant sizes. And for me, jumping into keto is a lifestyle change for the rest of my life. Now, for me, I have, a family and obligations and work stuff, and it can be really difficult without a lot of pre-planning to make sure that I have stuff that is keto friendly that I can eat when I'm on the go, when I'm on the run, when I'm at meetings, that can help me to avoid the worst temptations, things like doughy donuts or cake in the office. And so far, having a couple of things, whether they're more in the bar form or a sweet tasting, chocolate treat here and there, have helped me to stay the course, not cheat in my 35 days. And I don't want to cheat, really again, unless it's something that is a pre-planned thing and I have everything I need to get back on right afterwards. So one of the things that is a benefit of these snack boxes, if you haven't had them before, is that keto snacks can be really pricey. You can really only find them a lot of the time outside of, your standard things like jerky or nuts through Amazon or online retailers like Thrive Market. And so getting a snack box like this is a really good opportunity to try a variety of things and decide where you want to spend your money. Before you spend $40 on 40, bars, make sure you like the taste of that bar. So the way this is going to work for us today is if it's something inside here and I have no idea what's in there that I've tried before, I will give you my honest review. I will let you know what I think of the taste, the texture, the price, if I still have them in my pantry, if I would buy them again. And if it's something that's brand new to me, we'll taste them together. Together. Do you like that band, like the 90s, the TV band, Together? They were cool. All right, well, let's get into it. So, basically, I'm just going to pull one item out at a time. I will hold it up to the camera. We will talk about it together. I don't know, some boxes include things like overall pricing sheets so that you know how much something is retail. If they have that in here, I will share that with you guys. So we've lifted the flaps. You're gonna see it before me. So hopefully there's something that looks tasty in there. So let's hop in. So just generally try to grab whatever's first on top. So the first thing here is a Ketologic BHB supplement. So for me, I haven't had a Ketologic BHB, but I have had other, I've had NutriKeto BHB, I've had Perfect Keto BHB. So far, the one that I prefer the most is either the Cherry Limeade NutriKeto BHB, or I really like the BHB clear soft gels that you can get from Perfect Keto, because sometimes you don't want to have those extra calories in a drink, or you're not thirsty or what have you. So those are the two that I generally have tasted and enjoyed. I haven't had actually any Ketologic products just yet, but I know one thing that I actually do like, especially about the NutriKeto Cherry Limeade, and I think that'd be the case for quite a few of the BHB products, is that a lot of them have high amounts of citric acid and have very citrus flavored tastes. And so that's a thing that I've really enjoyed, because one of the things I miss the most is kind of that sour sweet flavor. I think a lot of the treats that you get are just straight up sweet. They're very, very front facing, forward sweet. And for me, enjoying something that has a little bit of tartness is really nice. So I haven't had this yet. I will try to report back on what I think. I may actually just at the end of the video go mix this up and let you guys know what I think. Or may do it in the morning, because I don't know that I want to take BHB at it's like 10 o'clock at night here, because it is quite a bit of a brain energy boost. But I'm excited and I'm looking forward to trying this. So let's pull out what is next. So this is, it looks like it's pepitas, so it has pumpkin seeds. The macros on this, oh actually I should have told you the macros on the Keto BHB in terms of how much is in it as well. So calories 15, calcium 296, magnesium 100, sodium 580, so you're getting a good amount of some of your electrolytes in there too, potassium 225. And then for BHB, it is actually just 6 grams, which seems sort of low. I know in NutriKeto you're getting 10, I believe. So that does seem sort of more limited, but if you're someone who, you know, just needs a little bit of that extra ketone either to get yourself going in the morning or like after a lunch slump, or especially, you know, a lot of people use BHB for purposes of when you get into keto as you are starting. It can really help to stave off some of the keto flu and to, because basically what happens, as I'm sure you know this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, basically what happens is as your body starts to remove its glycogen and it doesn't have a fuel source in there, it takes a few days of sort of going into that starvation, that protein and fat focused low carb starvation for your body to start to make ketones. So using something like a BHB supplement, which can be easily converted into ketones, or things like MCT oil if your tummy can take it, or other sort of exogenous ketones can help to get you over the gap as you transition from glycogen as your primary fuel source to ketones. And there's more to that obviously, but I'll leave it for the science folks. That's as far as I've learned in my 30 days. So again, back to these pepitas. The macros are that there's 2 servings in this container, so it's about 1 ounce of a serving, and that's actually, you know, it's a pretty decent amount of pumpkin seeds. So they are 180 calories, and I'll show you the back here too. 16 grams of fat, 3.5 of that is saturated. Sodium is 180, total carbs is 4, dietary fiber is 2, so 2 net carbs. If you were to eat the whole bag, it would be 4 net carbs. And protein 10. So the ingredients are pumpkin seeds, sunflower oil, pink Himalayan sea salt, organic paprika, cumin, black pepper, and cayenne pepper. May contain pieces of delicious organic pumpkin, because obviously the seeds can sometimes have a little bit that's around them. So I have had pepitas before. I certainly haven't had spicy Texas chili pepitas. So let me show you what's on the back here, just so you can check my numbers, make sure that I'm telling you the legits. And the interesting thing is it says it's grown without shells. So I'm not sure quite how that happens. I will need to do some research on how pumpkins grow without shells on their seeds. But let's jump in and give this a taste. I do like it's got a resealable bag, so especially when something says that it's more than 1 serving and then they're like, no, it's not really. So you've got your basic little pepita. It's a little hard to see here. Pepitas I know do have omega-3s, I believe, or pumpkin seeds do. Yeah, so this has a superfood, quote unquote, full of protein, omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, potassium, and magnesium. I don't know what its O3, what its omega-3 to omega-6 ratio is, but it's something that you could always research if that's something that you care a lot about. So it's definitely got a nice kind of soft crunch. I had in a previous box these hemp seeds that were like insane. Wow, that has a decent amount of spice on the back end there. Whew, that's got some pungent taste there. And it seems like they have a mix of sort of more roasted ones versus more raw ones. They've got a softer crunch. They're kind of more like what I would consider like the softness of like a macadamia nut, but they're so flat that it's even softer than that. They have a great fatty sort of mouthfeel like a macadamia nut or a pecan would. They're not very flavorful when you first put them in your mouth. They're not very flavorful up front, but they have a lot of like post swallow mouth burn. But they are pretty tasty, and I am a spicy person, but I'm not a spicy person when it comes to snacks. Like I'll put hot sauce on my eggs or my pizza or my sandwiches or anything that is kind of more of a mainstay meal, but for whatever reason, I've never been a fan of, you know, spicy hot chips or anything like that. So I don't know if this is something that I would repurchase, at least in this flavor. And also, I mean, the thing about pepitas is that there are other sources that have higher fat that kind of get you that same snacky feeling. But if you're a big fan of, you know, pumpkin seeds and you like the crunch and you're a big spicy person, this might work for you. I think for me, this falls more in the meh category. You know, it's certainly not bad, but it's not something great that I'm like, I have to get that time and time again. So the next thing we've got here is some roasted edamame. Let's see if we can put that up here for you. So this is something that, you know, a lot of people try to avoid soy on keto, and it's one of those things where whatever your definition of keto is, whether it's just getting into ketosis, whether it's being under a certain carb amount, but for a lot of people they're trying to reduce other inflammatories, and for a lot of people soy functions as that. It's something where I'm not actively removing it from my diet, but I'm certainly not seeking it out. So I don't know that this would be a snack that I would even throw into a keto box usually, but I will give it a try. So you guys, if you have a little bit more relaxation about soy, or you know that soy doesn't affect you and you're looking for a good sort of crunchy snack, but I think even just on the principle, I would probably call this more of a meh than a good or a bad, unless it I mean, it doesn't look. So I actually haven't had, I've had a ton of fresh edamame in my life. I'm a big sushi fan and a big sort of Japanese food fan where you can get edamame often. But I think edamame as a flavor usually needs something else to pair with it, whether it's garlic or salt or certain amounts of rock salt, chili oil, something like that. This flavor is pretty bland. I mean, it has a really good crunch. It's got a very nutty flavor. Weirdly, it kind of is giving me dried peanut vibes, which I guess makes sense. You know, peanuts are a legume as well, but yeah, I mean, I would probably put this in the bad category, kind of meh to bad, simply just because it doesn't have a ton of flavor. The bag isn't resealable. The macros aren't great. It's inflammatory for a lot of people. You know, it's fine that it's in there if they needed a filler, but it's not something that I would go for again. Next thing that I see here, and so we've got a lot of like nut and savory snacks here. This is garlic parmesan walnuts. It's called Crazy Go Nuts, delicious the superfood snack. Here, let me get that up there for you. And it says that it's low carb, the healthiest nuts, all natural gourmet walnuts, excellent source of omega-3s. It's got a very long shelf life, 5/22/20, so that makes me, I always like to see that in snack boxes, because a lot of times you'll get something and you'll get a good amount of stuff and you want something that you can kind of have now and something to have later. So something like this where you don't have to jump into it right away is a positive. But let's check out those macros. There's 4.5 servings, so an ounce is a serving in the bag, 180 calories, total fat is 18 grams, sodium 105, total carbs are 5, dietary fiber is 2, so you're talking about 3 grams per ounce, which is definitely higher than normal walnuts, so something in that seasoning has added sugar in it. The ingredients are walnuts, Parmesan cheese, powder, skim milk, so that's probably where your sugar is coming from, cheese culture, salts, enzymes, whey, buttermilk solids, sodium phosphates, salt, garlic, onion powder. So it's not bad ingredients, but having, you know, the milk in there is adding extra sugar, and I think it's one of those things where if it was probably just, you know, the garlic and the Parmesan, granted Parm has a little bit of sugar as well, so maybe that's part of it as well. But again, it's weird. The stuff so far in this box seems significantly less keto friendly than some of the others that I've seen. Yes, there you go. So it's a pretty standard walnut. It has a decent amount of coating on it. You know, when something says it's going to be garlic and Parmesan, which are so very present flavors, it's pretty minimal. I think what this might be good at and I might actually consider this in the good category, is despite it being, you know, a little bit higher on the carbs, is that if you were to throw that into like a Cobb salad, if you were going to throw that into just, and this might go for the pepitas too, like on top of a soup as 2 or 3 pieces, just to give you kind of a little bit of crunch. If you're doing something like a tomato bisque, or you're doing something like a creamy chicken soup, that might work. I wouldn't sit down and snack with them. The flavors just aren't present enough, and maybe that's my palate still readjusting from the world of Doritos and Cheetos and things. But it definitely, you know, it's got solid, clean ingredients for the most part, with the exception of kind of the milk that's in there. But I mean, no corn syrups or anything like that. So, you know, in terms of, you know, does it fit in a keto box? I think it's closer than some of the other things that have been in this month's box. Let's check the next thing. I've heard about this. I haven't had it yet. So it's the Keto Brownie. Here we go. So hard to focus. Will you focus on the Keto Brownie? There we go. Keto Brownie. So we've got the chocolate almond brownie, correct? Yeah. So let's read those macros. It's 1 container and it's 13 fat, which is good, higher fat. Total carbs are 21. If you are not a net carb counter, you are a full carb counter. That is pretty high for you. 15 fiber and 2 sugar alcohols. We'll see what those alcohols are in a second. So that's, you know, 17, that's 4 net carbs. Yeah. Already, I guess I'm wondering, you know, if you've got 4 net carbs to spend, I'd probably rather, especially because it's, you know, it's 195 calories. Let me get back into the ingredients, because maybe there's something I'm not seeing. So maybe some of the sugars are allulose or something. Prebiotic fiber, almond meal, almond butter, protein blend, almonds, chocolate chips, erythritol sweetened chocolate chips, cocoa powder, erythritol, sunflower. That's thick. I like that the nuts are in it. I wonder if it would taste better warmed up. I mean, it's certainly better than a Quest bar in terms of taste. At least a regular Quest bar. Quest Zero is obviously off the charts in a different way. But it's a lot of whole carbs to jump into, and a lot of fiber to potentially eat for not a lot of joy. I mean, unless you really miss like that power bar texture. Because it's certainly not as chalky as a Quest bar. It's certainly not as firm and sort of milk taste facing as a Quest cookie. I mean, it's okay. It's just not my favorite. It certainly has that like aftertaste of the protein isolates as well. So that one's kind of like a meh. What we have is a collagen nut butter. Let me see if I can. There we go. This is by the Adapt brand. It's a dairy-free protein to go. 2 carbs, 13 protein. 10 grams of fat. I mean, it's cool that it's got collagen, coconut oil, cashew nuts, MCT oil. So, you know, this may be a good fit for some people's macros. My concern is that if I'm taking something that's like a supplementy shot, I'm taking it because I need to get higher fat in. So I'm taking something like an F-bomb, where the fat certainly outpaces the protein. I mean, this even being called a protein to go is a little bit not keto friendly in my opinion as well. Also for me, I'm still working towards my MCT tolerance. So too much MCT certainly upsets my stomach in a serious and problematic way. So this isn't something that I'm going to actually try on camera. I may not try it at all. You know, so far this box is kind of lackluster, I won't lie. So the next thing we have is matcha, and it's honey and lemon. And again, honey is not keto. I sort of feel like maybe the owners of my keto snack box may have my low carb snack box and just repurpose stuff, because in comparison to other snack boxes I've gotten, this is certainly pretty subpar. But I mean, you know, tea is tea. Trying to read the ingredients. So organic matcha with green tea, lemongrass, and natural flavor lemon and honey. Yeah, I mean, even a lot of the ingredient stuff is not in English. Can you see that? There you go. So, you know, I don't even know how much, and I don't know this about all teas, like I don't know, maybe anything that has honey and tea is in such trace amounts. It is, you know, one of the lower things in the ingredient list. But, you know, this isn't something that should be in a keto box. You know, I'm guessing Tipton matcha tea people probably have just a straight lemon one, or probably have like a peppermint matcha, or probably have a lavender matcha. Pulling flavors out of the air, but they probably just have a straight matcha with green tea. And those would be better choices for this box. Like it feels, I don't understand it. What's next? Let's see. So this is a Kumana avocado sauce. It looks like it's a type of hot sauce. Think breakfast taco, chicken tikka masala, bison burgers, sweet potato fries. It's called Be Hot. So the macros are 5 calories, 30 sodium, no carbs, no protein. But let's take a look at the ingredients. So you've got onion puree, mango puree. So there's going to be, that's the second ingredient. You're only talking about a tablespoon, or not even a tablespoon, you're talking about a teaspoon. So there's some macro juggling happening here, because you're talking about mango puree and green bell pepper puree and avocado pulp as the first, you know, four ingredients, with onion puree up front. And so those are, you know, there's going to be a decent amount of sweet mango in here. I mean, if all you want is the real teaspoon, and seriously, who just puts on a teaspoon of avocado sauce, like, or hot sauce in general? Like, maybe this is so extraordinarily hot that's all you want, or you just want to kick it up alongside your buffalo sauce or your, you know, Cholula or something. But again, doesn't seem like they know what keto is at my keto snack box, and I'm really disappointed. See what else we got here. So yay, there's a real keto product. We've got an F-Bomb meat stick. This is 75% fat, 20% protein, and total carbs of 3.3%. So it is in keto macros, like legit keto macros. One stick, 24 grams, is 120 calories, has 10 grams of fat, good. 330 sodium, totally fine. Total carbs of 1, protein of 6. So especially because carbs on meat sticks are usually higher, because they will have, you know, soy base, or they will add sugar, brown sugar, honey. Let's look at the ingredients. We got pork. That's the first ingredient. That's a thumbs up. Water, sea salt, cracked black pepper, encapsulated citric acid, celery powder, cherry powder, which is, but I mean, it's pretty low in the list. Natural liquid smoke, coriander, ground clove, in colored beef collagen casings. So, and again, this is also one that lasts really long, that lasts November 16th, 2020, but I'm gonna enjoy it now. So I've had, and it's called a salt and pepper pork stick. I've had other F-Bound products. I've had their nut butter pouches, but I haven't had their meat sticks yet. I gotta tell you, you know, that's what I sort of look for in a meat stick. Let's taste it. It's definitely much more moist than I was expecting. I think especially for it in your backpack or your car to always have. I'm going on a flight in a couple weeks. I might try to see if Amazon can get me some of those in time. That's definitely a good product, and it's one that I would try again, and other flavors too. So I think we're down to the end. It's been kind of a lackluster box, guys, I'm not gonna lie, but let's see if this last product can save it. So this is a Keto Queen creation, and it's a brownie mix, and so it uses 3 additional eggs. Here, let's see if we can't get you to see it here. There we go. 3 additional eggs and 12 tablespoons of butter, so a decent clip of butter that you will add to it. And it's also got a pretty decent shelf life, December 6, 2020. This camera, man, it keeps turning itself off. All right, so these are usually about $10 in an additional box. And so that's something that may make me stick around with the subscription for a second month just to see if it can redeem itself. But the reality is a good number of things in this box are either things that are definitely keto okay, like the walnuts with higher carbs than they probably need to be, or the pumpkin seeds, which, you know, pumpkin seeds are a factor of a gourd. So I don't actually know where they stand for most people in terms of like if they're inflammatory or not. But I mean, these are things that I would eat. I'd be okay eating these. So you've got these 2, which are okay. You've got the meat stick, which is good. I'm a big fan. So yes to the F-bomb meat sticks. But then, you know, you've got your soybeans, which are questionable for keto. Your honey, which is certainly questionable for keto. Your high protein shot of nut butter, and yes, it has collagen, so that's good, but I mean, collagen is a flavorless powder. You can mix it into your water. Supplements come in every shape or size. You can get flavored ones if you prefer, like the Perfect Keto ones. So I mean, I just don't understand this box. I mean, the BHB supplement I will totally try and be happy with. The mango being the second ingredient in this hot sauce is a problem for me. So if it's something where you are going to invest in your very first keto snack box and you want to know, hey, I can trust and believe that the items in this box are going to help me on my keto journey. They're not going to inflame my any kind of autoimmune issues or any kind of inflammation. They are, you know, things I can rely on. I wouldn't go with this box right now based on what July looked like. You know, we'll give it another shot. I never believe in making a firm, definitive answer on one go of things. But yeah, this is a pretty unimpressive box. And a lot of it isn't because of the flavor of things, though I have to be honest, the pepitas had very little flavor for something that was called chili hot, and it was basically just an aftertaste of heat. And then the garlic parmesan were good, but again, not a lot of flavor there. Maybe if I put the Kumana avocado sauce on those, it'd be good. You know, this still get used. Nothing is gonna go to waste. My husband will eat it. My kid will eat it, especially if it's not too hot. Actually, I should probably taste that. It's not even hot, guys. I mean, it's tasty, but you can even taste the mango like real up front. You can taste it's very sweet. Yeah, I mean, it'll get used. My family will eat it. My brother-in-law will eat it. My husband will eat it. But I can't eat it and know that I can trust it. And that's a problem for my keto snack box. So guys, you know, step up your game. Don't include items with honey. Don't include items with mango puree. You know, the F-bomb sticks are great. The Keto Logic products are great. The Keto Queen Creations is good. But, you know, it feels like you guys are doing a low carb box and just slapping keto on it to make money, and that's not cool. So I can't in good, honest recommendation say that anyone should get this My Keto snack box, especially when other ones like the Keto Box and Keto Crate are out there. So in short, you know, I will enjoy and I will say yes to my delicious meat stick. And I will try those BHB salts, but you know, this one was kind of a bust. Do you guys feel differently? Are you a fan of honey in your tea? Are you a fan of, you know, any of these products and you think I've done them wrong? Let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to try things again. I kind of wish I hadn't tasted that avocado sauce because it's actually really good, but I know there's more sugar in it than meets the eye. If I was to use it like I normally used a hot sauce, I would be overdosing on stuff. It would be kind of a gateway for me. So let me know your thoughts, and I appreciate you visiting, and keep an eye on this channel for additional unboxings of keto products, for some keto dailies, and for some keto challenges. One that I'm going to come up and work on next is drinking 100 ounces of water a day and seeing how that fares. Do I feel better? Because I haven't been super great about my water, as much as people say you should be on keto. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is a keto chow shake meal replacement once a day, and I'll be ranking all those flavors. So if that's stuff that you guys would be interested in, hit subscribe, come back soon. Thank you for your time. I hope that you have a great day.